तो हम लोग शुरू करें। लग रहा है कि लोग लाइटरूम में को जानने वाले बहुत कम लोग हैं। यही
बिल्कुल।
यही यही लग रहा है। सबको फोटो करने का इंटरेस्ट है, लाइटरूम सीखने का
ठीक
इंटरेस्ट कम है।
एक्चुअली क्या है, मैं बहुत लोगों से बात करता हूँ तो बहुत लोग फोटोशॉप काफी साल से यूज करते हुए आए हैं और उनको लगता है कि वही अच्छा है और क्या चाहिए, और इतना ही काफी है। लेकिन द रीजन लाइटरूम came into being, Lightroom is not a competitor of Photoshop. Lightroom is being sold as a package. It is called the Creative Cloud. एक साथ दोनों प्रोडक्ट को ऐसा पोजीशन किया गया है कि दोनों एक दूसरे का सहारा है। लाइटरूम का अलग स्पेशलिटी है और फोटोशॉप का अलग स्पेशलिटी है। तो
डेफिनेटली
इट इज नॉट अ कॉम्पिटिटर ऑफ ईच अदर। सॉरी सॉरी सर।
हाँ, नहीं, हम लोग ठीक है, वो तो दैट्स अ फैक्ट। लेकिन कभी कभी क्या है कि लाइटरूम इज वेरी फास्ट कंपेयर टू फोटोशॉप।
क्या लाइटरूम इज वेरी वास्ट?
फास्ट 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 इन
नहीं नहीं,
प्रोसेसिंग।
हाँ, वेरी फास्ट इन प्रोसेसिंग। और एक्चुअली आज हम ज़्यादा कंसंट्रेट करेंगे लाइटरूम का लाइब्रेरी मॉड्यूल में, विच इज
यस यस
लाइटरूम इज द बेस्ट सॉफ्टवेयर फॉर अर्थ ऑन मैनेजिंग योर पिक्चर्स। सो
यस यस
DAM बोलते हैं उसको, डिजिटल एसेट मैनेजमेंट। सो लाइटरूम से अच्छा कोई दूसरा सॉफ्टवेयर नहीं है। तो फोटोशॉप में आप जो काम करते हैं वो काम करते हैं, फिर सेव करके बंद कर देते हैं। अब ब्रिज टू सम एक्सटेंट, ब्रिज का कुछ there are some features in Bridge which are similar to Lightroom in terms of the organizing capability. लेकिन
वैसे अच्छी थी
जो जो एडिटिंग जो ऑर्गेनाइजिंग कैपेबिलिटी है लाइटरूम का, दैट इज जस्ट
या
अमेजिंग। और उसके बारे में मैं आपको थोड़ा सा बताऊंगा। बट बिफोर दैट लेट मी आस्क यू दिस क्वेश्चन। अगर आप कंप्यूटर पे है देन आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट यू टू टाइप इन द चैट बॉक्स व्हाट आर द प्रॉब्लम्स दैट यू फेस इन ऑर्गेनाइजिंग योर पिक्चर्स। आप अगर ऑर्गेनाइज आपके पिक्चर्स, आप लोग काफी एक्सपीरियंस फोटोग्राफर्स हैं, काफी साल से फोटोग्राफी कर रहे हैं, तो आपको क्या दिक्कतें आती है when you try to manage your picture? What are the problems that you face? So हम उस basis पे we will try to drive the whole session.
ओके, तो वी कैन स्टार्ट नाउ। ओके सौरभ,
Yes sir.
फ्रेंड्स, today it is our 51st DCC webinar, and we are fortunate enough to complete our Golden Jubilee webinar last month. And this month we thought let my participants should know about the working of Lightroom Classic. Actually, Saurabh Chatterjee is a wonderful traveler photographer, and he conducts workshops and photo tours across the country, very frequent. I think this is his main profession. So around the year, he is busy in conducting workshop and photo tours. Recently, he completed 50 days long tailor-made photo trip for two UK-based photographers. And it's a great thing. He's doing a great job. So now, first we'll release our bulletin before Saurabh starts his session. I will request Tanoj Singh, let me allow you to share the screen. Yes, Tanoj, you can share your screen now. And as we all know, we publish e-bulletin every month, almost around 50 pages. So I'll request Tanoj Singh to release the bulletin. Tanoj, you can share the screen.
He has to unmute, I think.
I'm just trying to find the right screen. Just give me 2 seconds. Hello. So I hope you can see the cover page of this
It's not visible right
issue
now.
of the magazine.
Yes, yes.
Can you see it?
Yeah, it's visible now.
Good, good. So the cover has a beautiful image, which seems to be inspired by monuments from ancient Egypt.
Yes.
And picture is from Subrata Kumar Das. And the next page, which basically describes all the updates covered in this magazine. And a reminder again of the executive body of DCC and the team there, followed by the message from Mukesh himself. And he has mentioned a few achievements, starting with our chief advisor, Anil Risal Singh, who served as a jury at the Asansol International Salon. And also he received an award, Nandan Lal Bose Award, at the 73rd Anniversary of Uttar Pradesh Divas Rang Bharti. And this award was given to him by Deputy Chief Minister of the state of Uttar Pradesh, Brijesh Pathak. And our other advisor, Lisa Schnelder, who is also on the call, and 2 images were included in Jack's Farm Ranch calendar for this year. And Sitanath Paul's achievements are also covered. He received quite a number of awards and acceptances in recent times. And there is also an update about the photo walk organized by Mukesh. Okay. So here the 2 achievements from Anil Risal Singh and Lisa Schmelzer. And the 2 pictures here, one of them seems to be a version of polo played with camels in it. And the rock formation, which I remember from Grand Canyon. So I hope I'm correct there. And the next is highlighting the achievement of Vivek Joshi, whose photograph was displayed at the Jahangir Art Gallery in Mumbai. Next is our webinar series. The top one is for today. Saurabh Chatterjee is going to talk about Adobe Lightroom, and we were talking about it just moments ago. And the second one is for the next month webinar, Ashok Mansoor, who is also on the call. He's going to be covering some visual stories from around the place. And the next is the photo walk, where Mukesh actually took the team to brick kilns. These are my impression of seeing brick kilns, very hard places, tough places to work, very dusty. And the people who visited there are captured here into images with people, also workers of the kiln itself. Some really nice images, portraits, and also displaying very hard work done under difficult conditions. And these images were taken by Mukesh. Next 2 images from Sitanath Paul from this photo walk session. Some more images were really showing the character of the work done at those places. But quite remarkable images. These are taken by Subrata Datta. And this is next is the legendary photographer captured in this February bulletin. And this is a compilation from Anil Risal Singh, and the name of the photographer is Henry P. Robinson. And I will say a few words about which are also mentioned here, and I'll invite everyone to read this amazing story on Henry Henry Robinson lived in the year 1830 to 1901. He started off as a painter, and his early career where he also sold books and was a printer. And at the very early age, around at 21, his painting was hung at the Royal Academy in London, which is quite a remarkable achievement. And around the same time, he developed interest in photography. And he took that on as his main artistic activity, but he was quite dissatisfied with the limitations in photography. So he started to play with the mixing of what is real and what is captured by not real, and or more like a painterly attributes, and incorporated them with his photography. And this led him to collaborate with someone named Oscar Gustav Rylander, a pioneer art photographer who was the first person to combine multiple images into one final montage combination print. It was Rylander who was actually the pioneer, but Henry Robinson recognized the significance of this of the output, and he went on to conceptualize and create more of these photo montages. And some of his images are on the following pages. Here is an example. And Robinson's seamlessly blended reality and artwork, and some of his images became quite well known around the time, and it was noticed by even Prince Albert, who was the husband of Queen Victoria, and purchased prints of his artwork, and also made a standing order to purchase his other pieces of work. And Henry Robinson also started the Birmingham Photography Society, and later on also became vice president of Royal Photographic Society. He strongly advocated for photography to be recognized as an art form, and he has participated in many debates during his lifetime, and also wrote essays and done various writing assignments on the topic. He died at the age of 70, and on 21st of February 1901, and his son later continued this photography work. More images from Henry Robinson. Quite amazing photographs of people. And again, this was compiled by our advisor, Anil Rizal Singh. Now, our president, Mukesh Srivastava, was recently on a photo shoot in a Purbastali bird sanctuary, which is in the state of West Bengal. And while taking pictures of birds in their natural habitat, he also done some fashion photo shoots. And his team is just depicted there in the photograph. And one example of his photo shoot of the model. More examples of his photo shoot. Also shows the background, the bird sanctuary and landscape. And interestingly, some props and some help he received from locals, I guess. And some beautiful images from Lisa. These are taken these pictures are of canines in their natural habitat, and Mukesh showing quite dramatically different portraits here. One of a model, and the other one is a lady out in some village tribal area. And these are pictures, two pictures from Sitanath Pole of the brick kiln. I'm guessing the photo walk session. Two very nice images. One of a landscape, and the other one is nature butterfly sitting on a flower. Both pictures of birds in their natural habitat, and taken by Sanjay Jain. Deepak Thakur showing some urban or pictures taken in urban setting. And here, two pictures from Ajit Joshi covering a procession, what appears to me is more of a religious procession. And so they pray, showing two images of wildlife, quite beautiful images. And some pictures from Chitra Joshi, again in urban setting, and Puneet Tatyan. And some nice pictures of landscape, Amitabh Taplial, Vishnu Patel showing a kite flying activity in a temple. And the Golden Jubilee Photo Webinar, which I unfortunately missed, was covered in the local newspapers, where four legendary photographers, Riccardo Busi from Italy, J.R. Schmelzer from USA, Dr. Sinha and Anil Risar Singh from India presented their works. More of that coverage and the pictures of our presenters. And here is a list of, on the following pages, a list of all the webinars until now, and with the dates and names. And I think many of them were recorded, so their recording would be available on YouTube. And this also has today's one covered as well. And here is a membership form. Those who are interested, please join. Pictures from the YouTube webinar. And a nice portrait from Mukesh as the back cover of this webinar. Sorry, this bulletin. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Thanks, Kanal. Wonderfully.
I hope I've done justice.
I'm very happy that you released the bulletin in so much in detail, but very quick. And it's a wonderful job you have done. And Lisa, welcome. Namaskar. Lisa, your audio is mute. Welcome. Namaskar. 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 Namaskar.
Namaskar.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. Now our advisor has also joined. I request Saurabh. Saurabh Chatterjee, where are you?
I'm here, sir.
Yeah. You share your screen. You can start your deliberation. And friends, whatever questions you are able to ask, you can send in chat box, or we will have a separate timing today after his deliberation is over. We will have 5-10 minutes time to ask any question from our guest tonight. Okay. Okay, Saurabh, please go ahead.
Okay, sir. So thank you so much for the opportunity to present, allowing me to present about Lightroom in this webinar. So how many people are here? We are about So one question to you is, how many people use Lightroom here?
I use not very frequent, but sometimes as per
Okay.
the need. I use
Okay,
that.
maybe, yeah, if people can use the chat box and send some give me some inputs, that will be quite helpful. So how many or if you use what is your purpose of using Lightroom? Okay, I want the session to be little little more interactive so that I can tell you, or maybe you can tell me about the problems that you face in image management. Okay, so as I said before, Lightroom is the best software on earth for managing your digital assets. Okay, so that's called the digital asset management. So there is no other software better than Lightroom. I have tried a lot of software and I still keep on trying. I'm very curious to know about the new softwares in the market, but I don't think there is anything better than Lightroom. Okay, so any other inputs? So what is your issues that you face in image management? Is there anything, any issues and anything that you feel that is not working out well? So most of you are quite experienced photographers, have been shooting for a really long time. So I want to know what are the problems or the challenges that you face when you have been shooting for so long. Is it easy for you to fetch your images whenever you want to? So this is the question. Okay, so Ashok sir is saying it is confusing managing the library. Yeah, it is very confusing, and I will show you my library and how easy it has become when I started using Lightroom. So, okay, any other inputs? Okay, so it will be better if you give me your input so that I can drive the presentation based on that. So, what are the problems that you face in your management of your pictures?
I think most of the people are using Photoshop only.
Photoshop. Okay.
You start your session and in brief, just you give the
Hmm.
basic of Lightroom so that the
Yeah.
participants can get inspired and start using Lightroom. Because people
Okay.
are not very much conversant with the Lightroom.
Right.
So for short time, maybe for 5 or 10 minutes, just
Mm-hmm.
brief how to open the image in Lightroom and then you
Okay.
start your that managing part. Okay, please,
Right. Right.
please go ahead. Because as I'm seeing chat box, I think nobody present here using Lightroom except you. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Saurabh, one more thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
What
please.
I noticed is whatever we make the like the post processing, it keeps on adding in the library, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that I don't want. Like the Photoshop, I
Yeah.
don't want that history should be recorded.
Or you can
And
delete the
another,
history.
okay. And
In
another
Lightroom, you
thing
can.
is,
Mm,
now the
mm,
ACR has almost same features of Lightroom, but
right.
Lightroom is more for the photographer to sort out the images and
Absolutely. Absolutely.
filing. That's really wonderful
Exactly.
software, but
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
for
yes,
me
yes.
it's
Yeah.
confusing totally.
Okay. Okay. I will tell
Yeah.
you. So I will try to clear all your confusions. Okay.
Okay.
So how many of you store pictures in your external hard drive? So you might be having something like 2 GB or 3 GB of data, and you. So how do you work on your picture? So you connect to the external hard drive and then you start working on your pictures, right? So
Correct.
it can sometimes become very slow because it is being connected to through that hard drive. Even if it is through an SSD, it might take some time because your SSD is very fast, but sometimes the connection can be a problem, the way you connect it with your. Okay, since I am assuming now that not many people use Lightroom, but you see, there is a purpose why Adobe brought Lightroom, okay, and why it has become so popular over the whole world, and it has become a very important part of the workflow of for everybody, for every photographer. Uh, and there are people who are people like me who are curious to know what are the different softwares, how it works. So I started using Lightroom. Let me, yeah, I'll first brief on why I started using Lightroom. So I started using Lightroom quite early. So probably around 2000. So when it came around that time only, I started working, and it was in a very primitive state. It started. I saw that it was easy to edit my pictures, and that was my purpose of using Lightroom. So I saw that it was there are some features in Lightroom which just helped me edit my pictures better than or easier than, but it was very, very similar. It has always been very similar to the ACR or the Adobe Camera Raw uh, in terms of photo editing. But what Lightroom is meant for is for organizing your pictures well, and that's why it is marketed and sold as a creative cloud photography plan, which includes Lightroom and Photoshop both, which cost about US $10 per month, or in India we pay about 800 rupees per month. But for me, I cannot imagine my life without Lightroom. So if Lightroom would not have been there, I would feel very, very lost, and I will tell you why. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, but before that, let me tell you a little bit of the differences between Lightroom and Photoshop. Okay, so these two are very, very different softwares. Okay, and meant for different purposes. So they don't. There is an overlap. The overlap part is the ACR and the editing thing. Okay, but if you talk about the image management in Lightroom is entirely different. In fact, Photoshop does not have any image management capabilities. There is something called Adobe Bridge, which does have some image management capabilities, but it cannot be compared to what Lightroom has. And of course, if you do advanced retouching on your pictures, then there is nothing better than Photoshop on earth. Okay, so and now with the generative fill and things like that, so it is really amazing. It is very good at what it does. But I want to make it clear that there is very less overlap and little bit of overlap in the editing part. But Lightroom specialty is in the image management, which not many people use. In fact, I have not seen many people using the Lightroom as their image management thing, but that is the specialty. So it's a uh, pity that we don't use that, but how easy it can make your life. And let me also tell you how much I shoot a lot. So since December, I have been traveling every day, and I have been shooting roughly around 1000 pictures every day. So you can imagine how my image library would be. So it is I have a lot of pictures I take every day, and before I go to sleep, I try to delete the pictures that I don't want, and at least give some markings to help me segregate the good ones from the not so good ones. Okay, and without Lightroom, it would be very, very difficult for me. So let me share my screen and show you how my image catalog looks like. So Lightroom, the power of Lightroom is in its catalog. Okay, so initially, what happened is Lightroom started with, well, let me actually share my screen now.
Yeah.
Okay, sir, the host disabled participant
Wait,
screen
wait,
sharing.
wait. I made you co-host. Oh, and now you try. Saurabh?
Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, that paddy farming we are able to see.
Okay, so yes. Okay, so you see, this is how my Lightroom catalog looks like. So this part is quite unorganized because this has been done quite recently, and this is so you can organize the pictures the way you want to. So especially people doing fashion photography, you can, or some event or commercial photography, you can arrange by date. Okay, but I had been doing like that for a long time, but that is how most people recommend. You can you can create a folder every day by date, so that you have everything in the chronological order. But my image library is very focused on India. It's different states, is in different places, and a lot of times I go back to these places, so I feel it does not make any sense for me, but I will still show you how it looks like. So this is why my pictures folder, and I have 70,982 pictures in this my pictures folder. And it is a good idea to have all pictures in one folder. Okay, so all pictures in one folder called pictures. Okay, so and this is located in a different hard drive. So I don't have the hard drive connected right now, so that's why you can see a question mark here. So the drive is not physically connected, but Lightroom has a feature called the Smart Preview. I will show you how to use it later. So when I use this Smart Preview option, even though I don't have the physical files here, I will still be able to open them. I will still be able to work on them, edit on them, and I will still be able to export 3 megapixel copies of the picture. So they are all raw files. All the files are raw files, and by state. Okay, so you have, there can be more segregations, and there are a lot of ways in which I can segregate my pictures. I will show you little later. And these are the recent pictures that I have taken. So I'm right now I'm in a place called Srikakulam. I'm working on with this an NGO, taking pictures for them. And so these are the recent pictures. So there are a lot of pictures from today as well. So I have to work on them. So I will show you how I import my pictures, and then what I do next, and how do I work on them. So the first thing that you do when you open Lightroom for the first time, you will not be able to see a single picture. So in Photoshop, you open tabs, but when you open Lightroom for the first time, you will not be able to see anything at all. So your Lightroom will be absolutely empty. So to import the pictures, you have to click on import. Okay, so when you click on import, you will see the import dialog box. Okay, so this is how the import dialog box looks like. Okay, and yeah, so when you so there are these options I will show you. So it might sound a little complicated to you initially, but once you start using for the first time, it will make your life very, very easy. Okay, so on the left hand side, you will see your pictures folder. So by default, Lightroom assumes that you are keeping your pictures in your pictures or my pictures, whatever you call it, whether you use a Window or a Mac. So the only difference between the shortcuts when you use a Window and a Mac is there are some shortcuts where you have a combination of the Mac key and the letters, and in Windows you have the window and the letters. So otherwise it is pretty much the same. So this is where you have all the folders located. So if you have a memory card connected, you can it will show up here as well. By default, it will show a memory card, and then you will be able to import pictures from the memory card. Okay, so it is not very easy. So here you see when you are copying from the memory card, by default you will see the option of copy, not add. Okay, so now it is choosing an option called add, because it is be able to access only the pictures that are on my hard drive, and if it's already in my hard drive, it will not allow me to I mean, unless you really want to do, by default it will choose add, means it will just add the pictures to its Lightroom library. It will not copy or move it to some other place. So that's why you see the it is giving the option of add. Now when I have already added the pictures, you see there is an option here, don't import suspected duplicates. So because I have already added the pictures in my Lightroom library, it will not allow me to add, because you see I'm not able to see any of the checkbox here. So the checkbox have disappeared because these files are already added. Now, this option is very important, and I would like to spend some time talking about this option here. Uh, Build smart previews. So what is a smart preview? A smart preview, as the name suggests, is when you import the pictures, it will create a smart preview, and this process is little time taking based on uh, how fast your system is. So if you have a really fast system, then it will take less time to create a smart preview. But on an average, maybe if you are importing 100 pictures, it might take about 5 minutes to create a smart preview. Now, a lot of people have cameras. Now you have cameras like 45 megapixel camera or 64 megapixel camera. You have new cameras like that. And do you find your system getting slow when you open those files? So a lot of you, I assume, do wildlife photography. So how many of you think that there is a need to upgrade your computer because you have upgraded your camera and shooting with 45 or 65 megapixel cameras, and your files take a long time to? Is there anybody like that? And you feel that for some reason you need to upgrade your computer because you are not able to use Lightroom or open your photos really fast?
Yeah, the problem with the bridge,
Yeah,
Adobe Bridge,
yeah,
there I find it the problem.
right. So it takes time to open the files, especially if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have some really. Okay, I find only one person uh, talking and the others not participating at all. So it's not very encouraging, but I'll still go on. But yeah, I would really appreciate you if you participate, because I don't know. I'm just talking to a screen, and nothing much is happening here.
Saurabh, just a
Yes, sir.
minute. My audio was muted. Uh,
Uh-huh.
I'm facing some problem because of graphic card capability. Because
Okay.
what happens when I work on the Photoshop,
Uh-huh.
it takes longer time to open
Right.
or to
Right.
accept any action I'm using. Okay.
Right. Right.
Uh,
Right.
although although I have a, 4 GB graphic card
Okay.
and i5,
Okay. Mm.
but still I face.
Okay.
Although,
Okay.
although I work from the internal hard disk, not the external hard disk. External
Okay.
hard
So
disk I'm using only for a backup copy.
okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
So this
So okay. So that's good that you use the internal hard drive. And what is the size of your hard drive, sir?
internal hard drive I have got 4 TB and one
Okay.
SSD card for the operating system.
Okay.
In
Okay.
external hard disk I have got one 8 TB and one 4 TB.
Okay, okay, great. So this is a common problem that we have when we upgrade cameras. So nowadays we have cameras uh, like 35 megapixel, 45 megapixel, and even A7R5 like 65 megapixel. So it takes time to open the files, but if you choose this option, so Lightroom will open from the smart preview, which are really very fast. So irrespective of whatever camera, how many megapixel your camera is, your files will open really fast. So you see, I have a system which is kind of pretty decent, but you see, it really, I will show you how fast my images open. So my camera is 45 megapixel, the camera that I'm using right now. So if I just show you, if I browse through some images, I will show you how fast I just imported you see how fast the images are moving. Okay, so if you see, so I'm able to move really fast, and these are all you can see the size over here. So these are all 45 megapixel pictures. So irrespective of what system you're using, it will definitely uh, make your images open really fast, because it is opening not from the to enable Lightroom, you use that feature, I have to go to this preferences. This is a one-time activity I have to do.
Yes.
So you see in the preferences there is something called performance, and in the performance you see there is an option, use smart previews instead of originals for image editing. So, and you see there's a note here, this will allow increased performance, but may display decreased quality. But you see most, I mean, the display quality that I have, I feel it is enough for me to judge whether the picture is good or not good. Okay, so this is enough. So you see, it is showing the embedded preview. So you see, let me zoom into any picture and then show you how. Yeah, so I think this is enough for me to understand whether the picture is blurry or it is sharp. So I don't think I need anything more than that. And you see, it is still showing that it is a embedded preview. So this is just good enough for me. So, and I feel it will be good enough for anybody else as well. So so this is what I use. So I'll just show you the option once again. So now you see Lightroom has different modules. So you have Lightroom library module, develop module, map module. So there are a lot of these modules, and I'm pretty sure if you have not used Lightroom, it is out of question that you have used the map module and the book or slideshow. Is where we organize our pictures. Develop module is where we develop our pictures. It is very similar to Adobe Camera Raw. And then you have this map module. Map module is it's a very interesting module, and there is no other software which can give you this amount of this kind of information that uh, I mean you would like to have. Say for example, I have a lot of these pictures here. If I go to the map module, let us see what it does. So it will show me pictures in the geographical locations where I have taken the pictures. Okay, so you see it is because these have been taken pictures, or maybe I'll just open one picture and then show you how it will work. Okay, so yeah, so I will just go to maybe any random picture here, and I'll go to the map module. So you see it is showing me exactly where I have taken the picture. So this was during a 50-day road trip that I did here. So it is showing me exactly the place where I have taken this picture. It could be in a field in the middle of nowhere. So let me zoom in here and show you. So when I go here, so it is showing me exactly where I took this picture. So because I have the GPS location enabled, so I let me just select one picture. Yeah, so I'm just selecting one picture here. It is me the GPS location. If I to take me to exact place where the picture was taken. So if I want this, and
Oh, I think Saurabh, your bandwidth is low.
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, there was some problem with the connect. Yeah,
Your internet is a bit slow.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so you see what I was telling you is that I can exactly find the place on the map where the picture was taken. So map module also has a lot of use, and I really use it a lot. Okay, and so I'll go back to the import module. So import dialog box, and show you the things once again. So when I import the pictures, you see you can choose any particular folder from which you can import. And here, apart from the other options, you see there are a lot of other options also that you see here. You can apply the develop settings, you can apply the metadata. I don't do these things
Your,
here.
your screen is not visible.
Oh, sorry.
Still not visible.
Yeah, yes, sir. One second. Yeah. Are you able to see it now?
Just a minute.
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Now
So
it's
apart from the other options that you have, so these are some options. So this smart preview. So this is the most important thing that has made my life very easy, because of this smart preview, I can see all the pictures, even though my pictures are located in different could be located in different physically different hard drives. I can see all of them together. So previously, I didn't have any idea about where which picture is where, and there was no way in which I could see the pictures all together. But because I have put this option on, so it takes some time to build a smart preview. So you need to have some patience. So But once the smart preview is built, you will be able to see all your pictures in one place. So you see, that is how I have imported. So this took significant amount of time when you're doing it for the first time. But once you have imported the pictures, you see all my pictures. These might be located in different hard drives, but I have everything here. Okay. So I'm not going to go in detail because of the lack of time, but I'm going to at least tell you the features that will convince you to start using Lightroom. Okay, so you see these are all my pictures in one place. Folder, I have 8,230 pictures over here. But you see, if I want to show some pictures to somebody, or maybe I want to send it to some publisher who wants to have pictures on Ladakh, I cannot send so many pictures. So there should be a mechanism, a way in which I can segregate my best pictures from the not so good ones. Okay, so uh, so the way of doing it is by marking them with star rating. So you can rate your pictures with a star rating, and the way to do it is, so say for example, this is a folder where I was working today. Okay, so some of the pictures here. So when I find a picture which is better than the others, I'm going to mark it as a give it a star rating. So you see these are some pictures which I've rated as a star. So to rate a picture as star, you just have to press 3 on your keyboard. So you see you can rate them from 1 to 5. Okay, so even in Bridge you have this facility. So Bridge also has the facility. So as I go through these pictures, so maybe let us assume I like this picture more than the others. So I just press 3 on my keyboard and I'm able to give it a rating. So when you give a rating, you will be able to see it, and you should be able to segregate your pictures using this. So you see there is a filter over here.
I
I'm
think
going to
even the Photoshop has the same feature.
uh, Adobe Bridge has the same feature.
In
Yeah.
Photoshop,
But there is no way in which
Photoshop, it doesn't have the star rating
no,
system.
that is not Photoshop. You are right.
uh,
That is
Bridge has the feature, sir. Bridge में होता है.
it has a
हाँ,
picture and one Nikon image viewer. That too has the
yeah.
same feature.
Yes. Yeah. But it is very primitive. Nikon software is very primitive. I have used that, and I
Yeah.
can tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah. So one problem that I used to face when I was using Lightroom about 10 years, about in 26, around about 10 years back, was that it was very difficult to import all my pictures. So Lightroom catalog used to become very slow. So what I used to do is I used to bring my pictures and do whatever I want to, apply metadata, and then I would delete the pictures from the Lightroom catalog because it would make my Lightroom very slow. And then Lightroom also has improved significantly over the years. And now Lightroom says that you can have any number of pictures in Lightroom and it will still not be slow. So I dared to put all my pictures at once. It really took a lot of time for me. Say, you see, I have the 70,982 pictures here. So I imported them and I wanted to see if really what Lightroom claims, is it working or is it still very slow? And I found that now Lightroom is good enough to have all pictures together in one catalog. Okay. Now, if I want to show you some of my pictures from this, so I have rated some of the pictures as 3 star. You see, I have 1624 pictures as 3 star. The moment I press on 3, I'm able to see all these 3-star rated pictures. And the moment I press on 5, I have all these 5-star. So I have only 162 5-star rated pictures out of this 8230 pictures. So it makes my life very, very easy. So out of any folder, you see, so these are my better pictures compared to any the other pictures that I have. So of Ladakh. So similarly, so it will be initially it will be some work to put all the picture, go through all your pictures, and it's a good idea to go through all your previous pictures as well, because I feel my interpretation of the pictures also have changed over the years. So the pictures, some pictures which I thought were ordinary, I find something special in them, and some pictures which I thought were very good, now I find they are quite ordinary. And because I've been shooting in RAW since the time I started, almost since the time I started doing digital photography, I can work on the pictures once again. And Lightroom is getting more and more. In fact, Lightroom and Photoshop, they have internally, they have the same engine. So the processing way, the way it processes the pictures is the same. So you can work on the same pictures all over again, and you will see better rendition of the same pictures if you have shot in RAW. So I like to go through my pictures. Okay, again, I mean, old pictures also. Okay, so this is how you can segregate your pictures. So you see these pictures that I have here. So I can because I have these ratings, I can very quickly go find these pictures and send it to anybody if there is a requirement. And even though I don't have the hard drive connected, so that you can see there's a question mark here, because the physical hard drive where I have these pictures are not there, but still I can open any of the pictures here, and I can export up to 3 megapixel pictures. So even if a lot of you, in fact, most of you do photography for competition. I mean, you do photography and then you send it to competitions for, and then every competition has a particular criteria. So some pixels, how many pixels you need to send your pictures to. So uh, you can export to up to 3 megapixel, which is more than enough for any competition that you are applying for. Okay, so even though I don't have my hard drive connected, I can do that. The other great feature about Lightroom is it's the collections. Okay, so collection is basically, as you can understand, it is a collection of pictures. It could be a collection of and it could be a collection from different folders. Okay, so different folders, different places, and you can make collections based on the metadata, or you can make collections based uh, on anything. Okay, say for example, I have a collection of architecture, some of my architecture pictures here. Okay, or some pictures of my landscape. So these are some of my landscape pictures. So so these are my landscape pictures all in one place. They could be historically taken at different time of the in my career. Maybe some could be 10 years before, or some could be just taken this year. But I have all of them in one place. And again, it is not creating a separate copy for the pictures. It is just creating a collection. So it is just linking the pictures to my original hard drive. And yes, I can work on any of the pictures. So if I open any of the pictures, I can go to the develop module. I can work on any of the pictures. I can work on these things. Okay, and I can also export up to 3 megapixel resolution. Okay, and which is good enough for posting on Facebook or Instagram or any other place. So you see, all my pictures are in one place, and it is such a great thing for okay. And so the only limitation of if you want to export higher resolution pictures, then you need to connect. So the only reason I sometimes export higher resolution pictures is when I want to send pictures to magazines for publishing, or when I want to print a picture, but that does not happen very often. So this is good enough for me to send it to anybody, or okay, so this is just good enough. So you can create a collection of your pictures. So you might make a photo story, or you might make a collection, and it might have pictures from different folders. Okay, so that is how collection of my portrait pictures. So that's why I'm sorry for the disconnection. I hope
Saurabh, your internet
you're
is slow a
able
bit.
to hear me and
We are not able to listen you properly.
my screen. Yeah. Well, yeah, yes, sir. Yeah. So I'm in a remote village, so yeah.
Saurabh, you are not audible. Saurabh, are you listening me?
Hi, sir. Abhi, can you hear me now?
Only voice is not continuous. It is breaking and very
Yeah, there is.
sound. I think that is the internet problem.
Yeah, there is.
But
There
still
is
not.
some issue with my internet. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
are you able to hear me now?
Now it's okay. Go ahead. No, your screen is
Okay,
visible,
better.
but
Okay. So, okay. So you see, I can have all my pictures. Yeah. Okay. Is it visible now? Visible and audible?
yes, yes, visible and audible both.
Okay. So this is a second use of Lightroom. You can create these collections, and in collections you can create you can have you can have
You are
different
not audible,
combination
Saurabh.
of
You
your
are not audible.
pictures. So you see, everything is in one place. So I don't have the hard drives connected, but I still can work and I pick. Can you have any amount of pixels? Let me change my internet connection.
Okay.
Uh, is it okay now?
No, now it's okay.
Okay.
You are audible now. Kapoor sir, welcome. Krish Kapoor sir, welcome.
Other okay. So the other great thing, which I don't think.
Your voice comes for a few seconds and then goes off.
Okay. Okay.
Your,
So the other thing about, yeah. Can you hear me, sir?
but not very continuity is not there. There is a break.
Thoda there is a problem with the internet connection. Yeah. So really sorry about that. Okay,
No,
so the other
Okay, go ahead.
thing about Lightroom is, and I have not seen this in any other software, is Lightroom can categorize your picture. You can segregate pictures based on the different cameras that you have used. Okay, so you can categorize pictures based on the year. Okay, you
Saurabh,
can,
here I want to ask you a question.
yeah.
Likewise, do you need to give some tag for that image?
For which one?
Say for any image, say
Yeah,
I have made a catalog
yeah.
based on the month, month and
Okay.
year. Okay.
Yeah.
So in a month, I have gone to Ladakh, I have gone to
Right.
some other places like Jaipur, Agra, or somewhere.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Right. Right.
So if I locate the image, can I sort it out by the name of Ladakh or by the name of Jaipur
Yes.
or Ajmer?
Yes. So yes. So if you have given some tags to the picture,
Yeah,
and
that we need to give tag.
adding metadata is something very, very important. I think I have not seen many people adding metadata to the pictures, and that is why lot of these images you might have them on the internet, but they are not searchable. And I have at least 500 pictures of mine have been published in various magazines and newspapers across the world, and the reason is that I have tagged my images very well when I put on the internet. So I have been using Flickr since a long time. And in Flickr, when I add my images into Flickr, I add my all my metadata right within Lightroom. So you don't have to do it twice. So I will show you how to do
Okay,
that.
okay,
So
okay.
you say, for
That part,
example,
that part you explain to us. It is very
yeah.
important.
Say for and that is a reason of I mean a lot of my images getting published. It is all because I have added tags before. Okay, so you can see I have mentioned the name of the place where this picture was taken. And if I go to keywording, so I have little bit information
Okay,
about
okay,
where.
okay.
Okay, now
Keyword.
this is very important. So because if somebody is searching on the internet with this name Tadipatri, so he will be able to find these pictures. If you don't add the tags, they will not be able to find your pictures. So maybe your picture is better, but if you don't have a keyword added to your picture, it will not be there in search. And whatever I have added here, it is compatible to all the image professional websites which accept images. For example, Flickr, or you have other softwares, other 500px, they can read these keywords, so you don't have to do it twice. So it is just once that you have to do it. Say for example, I have been to the Himalaya many times. Okay, and so if I just tap,
Oh, you are not audible, Saurabh.
tell people. Okay, so suggest people, which is good. So so with a 15 millimeter, these are pictures using a 15 millimeter. Okay, or if I want to show what I have done with a 24 millimeter, so I have a 24 70 millimeter lens. So these are pictures taken with a 24 to 70 millimeter lens. Okay, so let me first segregate. So now these are all my pictures, but I want to see how many best pictures I have taken with any of these lenses. So I'm just going to apply the
Fantastic,
start
fantastic.
editing here. So with 24 millimeter, I have taken these pictures. I'm going to any place. So and this also tells you about your style of photography. Say for example, I am carrying. So I have shot a lot of pictures with. Let me see if I have shot a lot with it. So I have not really shot a lot with the 50 millimeter focal length. Okay, so I don't really that is Okay, so with the 35 millimeter, I have taken these pictures. Okay, with the prime 35. So mostly I have used the zoom lens, but if I want to see how many I have, say from 25 to 40, so how many pictures have I taken? I have taken significant amount of pictures within this focal length. So you see there are a lot of possibilities. Okay, and I will also tell you one very interesting feature which can be used for people doing wedding photography. So for example, I can segregate pictures based on, similarly I can segregate pictures based on aperture, shutter speed, or ISO. Now, this is something very important. It becomes very useful for people doing, wedding photography. Say you have 1,000 pictures or 2,000 pictures in a wedding, and you want to apply noise reduction to all the pictures that you have taken at maybe ISO 4,000 or 5,000, something like that. So you see, Lightroom is able to segregate pictures based on ISO. So for example, I have this 6 pictures taken at ISO 4,000. Okay, so I can select all of them together and apply the same level of noise reduction to all these pictures. So isn't it amazing how we can do it?
That's a wonderful feature.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So you see, we can segregate pictures based on a lot of these metadata that I have here. So I can segregate pictures based on the shutter speed. So you see, uh, so these are the, okay. So I will show you. Okay, so you see these are the different shutter speed. So suppose I want to, so I have a lot of these series of pictures taken at 30 seconds. All my Milky Way pictures that I use that. So there are a lot of other extended exposure also that I do. Okay, so you see this is 515 seconds. So you see, it becomes very easy for me to segregate based on a few parameters that we have. Okay, so okay, I'm sorry about the disconnection. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah. It's visible now.
Okay, so you see, this is so I talked about just 2-3 features, but this should be enough for you to convince yourself to start using Lightroom. So, and I find this very interesting. So sometimes I just go through this and try to find which is my lucky camera. So, or which camera I used from which year to which year. So you see, it's very interesting, very insightful when I go through this data and how many pictures, how many decent pictures which I took in which year. So from this whole thing, I see that 2023 was a really lucky year for me. I have shot more in 2023 than any other. I've used these different cameras. So sometimes I just go through this and detail, and it really helps me understand. And of course, so this focal length and shutter speed, and you see there are a lot of other things that you can do here. Okay, so you can select based on the aspect ratio. So suppose you want to see only your portrait orientation picture or landscape orientation picture, you can do that as well. So these are some features that you have in Lightroom. And then, so this was about the library module. So, and then you have the develop module, which I'm not really going to talk about. And there's this map module. So a lot of people use the want to print a photo book. So if you really want to print a photo book, so this module is amazing. I have personally used it. So you don't really have a lot of advanced features to you have in this DTP softwares. But if you just want to create a photo book with pictures and with little bit of captions, this photo book feature will definitely help you do that. And slideshow print module will help you to print the pictures. And of course, if you go to the web module, So if you have the Creative Cloud subscription plan, it will help you create a website and upload the pictures from here. Okay, so these are some of the features that we have in Lightroom. So in all, I can say that now if I have the pictures in different folders and I connect one of, say suppose, let us take an example of a situation where I faintly remember that I had taken a picture somewhere, but I don't know in which hard drive or in which folder it is. So
Okay.
suppose, like Mukesh sir was saying that you have 3 or 4 different hard drives and you have to connect them one by one to see them. I
Sure,
mean, this
sure.
is right. And and sometimes the task is so daunting that you just give up. So maybe there is a competition of a particular theme, and you know that you have taken a picture, but you don't know where the picture is. And you have such a great picture, but you are not able to fetch the picture at the moment. So it becomes very, very difficult. So but here, because I have all the pictures here, it is very, very easy for me to go through them, or search the picture. So for example, I want to uh, search the best pictures I have taken in this in the state of Gujarat. So these are some of the pictures that I have. Okay. And I always suggest people to have the time correct in the camera, so that you can you know what time the picture was taken. And it also helps me to add the GPS tags to the picture. So a lot of cameras do have the GPS setting, but most of them don't. Only the flagship cameras, like in Nikon you have the Z9, which has the GPS setting. But I still am able to add the GPS setting in my camera, because I have a software on my phone which records my GPS locations with the timestamps, and Lightroom can sync the same timestamp, and I am able to. I'll just show you how to do that. Say for example, I go to the map module, and so when you go to the map module, so there is something called track log. So if I add this thing called load track log, it will be able to add the files and will be able to add it. It just takes seconds to add pictures, the GPS locations to the. Okay, and that's why you see a lot of my pictures have GPS location, which is very, very important for me. So in this whole folder, this in this tour, you see, I had been taking pictures in the middle of a lot of times in the middle of nowhere, and I want to know where the pictures were taken. So a lot of pictures found these people going, and I don't want to know what place this picture was taken. So so you can see the GPS locations here. I can copy and paste this on Google Maps, and it will show me where exactly this picture was taken. So that is how map module is very, very helpful for me. So I'm just going to summarize what I have talked so far. Okay, so this is not a very exhaustive class on Lightroom, but I'm just demonstrating the features that Lightroom has, which will help you convince enough to use Lightroom. Okay, and of course the develop module is very similar to the ACR that you all might be using. So I'm not going to go through this. So the first and uh, another very interesting feature about Lightroom is that it does not have any save button. So whatever you are doing is by default getting saved. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to. So this is how we import the pictures. So by default, Lightroom does not have any pictures, and while you are importing the pictures, there can be a lot of options, but the most important option for me is the smart preview option, because this in terms of space, it does not really take a lot of space. Just to give you exact numbers, I have about 80,000 90,000 pictures now in my catalog, and the smart previews has taken about 200 GB. So 200 GB is not a big deal nowadays. So, and because of that, I'm able to access any picture that I have shot in my digital camera. Okay, so all the pictures right from 2005 when I bought my first DSLR. So I have all the pictures in here. Okay, and once you import the pictures, you will be able to see all the pictures. And even if you don't have the hard drive connected, you will be able to see the pictures, and you will be able to edit the pictures. So you see, you will be able to edit the pictures, and you will be able to yeah. So if I go to the develop module, I will be able to edit these pictures. I will also be able to export as high as 3 megapixel files, which is good enough for most of the work that you are doing, except for printing. Okay, so I think yeah, so that is about okay, the smart preview option. The second thing I was telling you about the collections. You see, I have collections based on the places. So I can create a lot of different collections here. So these are some of my collection of the pictures of different places. Yeah, yeah. Are you able to hear me
Yeah,
now, sir?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So so this was the second great thing about Lightroom is you can have smart collections. A smart collection is collection or smart collections. So collections and smart collection is something which is done automatically. So it could be based on the metadata. So say, for example, this is a smart collection. So a smart collection, so this is all the pictures that I have taken using an 85 millimeter lens. Okay, so these are all the so this is a smart collection. See, if I have, if I will have more pixel millimeter, it will automatically be added to this collection. So that is a good thing about the smart collection. The third, yeah.
Yeah, now it has come.
So you can say, yeah. So you can segregate pictures based on the cameras. You can segregate pictures based on the focal length. You can segregate pictures on any of these parameters. Yeah. Yeah. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer.
Saurabh, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
I have 4 questions.
Yeah.
For example, the smart preview.
Yeah.
Yeah. If my external hard disk crashed,
Yes.
can I process the stored smart preview?
Yes, you can. You can do everything with it, and you can export up to 3 megapixel files from it. So it is a
Not
good
more than
backup
that.
also. Yeah, not
No,
more than that.
not more than that.
Not more than that. So because you are not storing the original, you can, however, do it, but then there will be a limitation of space on your local hard drive or on your computer, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So, but even if you, so see, I'm in a trip, but sometimes if somebody asks me for an image, I can very easily export up to 3 megapixel files and send it to anybody.
Okay.
Saurabh, is
Can
it
I have a
cloud-based?
look at the Lightroom that module?
So it is when
The
you are in,
screen. Please share this screen of the
okay,
Lightroom.
okay. So,
See here
if,
at the folders,
yeah,
are these raw files or processed JPEG
these
images?
are these are all raw files. I don't have JPEG
Hmm,
files at all.
hello.
Okay, I don't create
Okay.
JPEG files unnecessarily. So only when there
Okay.
is a requirement, it's just like you have the negatives with you. Okay, so only
Okay.
when there is a requirement, you make a positive out of a negative. Okay, so
Correct.
otherwise there is no requirement. So similarly, these are all raw files that you see here. Okay. So
Can
only
see,
you
for
can see
example,
the extension here, RAF. This is from a Fujifilm camera. And
okay.
yeah, yeah,
See, when you
Hmm.
process it to
yeah,
convert it into a JPEG and you save it, can we
yeah,
access that
right.
JPEG file?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Okay.
So if you, so you see, I'm going here. So I have this different preset. So I'm exporting as a 1920 pixel, just one
Okay.
file, and it is done. It is done. So you see, if I go to my my folder 1920, I will be able to see it. So it's
Okay.
very easy. It's, yeah,
Okay. And another thing, naming you have done on the left side, right? On the raw file, the place's name,
that's right. Yeah.
correct?
So
And
yeah, that's right.
regarding the each image, we have to store it right here, right?
Where?
On the right side. For example, if you
Uh,
click here, I think it was in book, right? Book or something like that.
no,
See
no,
on the
library,
right
library.
side,
Yeah, we are in the library module right now.
yeah, library module. See
Yes.
each image you have to give a description, right?
If you want to. So you see,
Like the
so
keywording,
yes, yes.
it has to
So
be done on each image, correct? I
no,
mean, the one which we have
see,
selected
okay.
for post
So
processing.
it is not. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
Okay. So it is not possible nowadays. It is definitely not possible to have enough time to add a description to all my images individually,
correct.
right? So I
Yeah,
can sync them. So if I am going to a place, say for example, so this all have been taken at a temple. Okay. So I'm going to
okay.
select all of them. You see, I have selected all of them, and I'm going to give a title or caption.
Oh,
Okay,
fine,
I'm just typing.
fine. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm just doing this. So when I do this, it is asking me this thing, apply metadata changes to all the selected photos, because I have
oh.
already selected all the photos. So it is asking me. So if I apply to selected, now all the pictures will have the same metadata. Let me open any file. So I'm
Uh-huh.
opening this one, and you see it is still showing the caption. Okay, so it just
Okay.
takes seconds to do it, but it is so helpful. Also, the similar thing for keywording. So this is a keywording or the metadata that we add. So suppose I add a keyword called C I can say use the semicolon as separator, or yeah. Okay, so I'm adding these two keywords here. Now I want this keyword to be added to all the pictures in this particular folder because they are of the same place. So I'm just going to sync metadata. And what do I want to sync? I want to sync the keywords. Okay, I just click on keywords,
Oh,
the other. Okay, and then in just seconds the same keyword is being added to all the pictures. So I can open any random file and show you, you see the same keyword being added here.
oh, wonderful.
Yes, very, very,
Okay,
very
it is
clean.
phenomenal. It is phenomenal if you really want to use it. It can make your image management so easy, and you will be able to see
Yeah,
all
yeah, yeah.
your images at one place.
Correct, correct.
Yeah,
And one more
right.
thing, I shoot lot of
Yes, sir.
panoramas. So
Okay.
how big file it can stitch? For example, ACR, it can stitch up to 4 GB only, not beyond that.
Okay. So
4
actually,
GB.
Lightroom does have an option of panorama, but if you have some advanced processing, say for example, like Mukesh sir does a lot of retouching in Photoshop for his fashion photography. So from within Lightroom, you can open Photoshop and do whatever you want to, and then the image comes back into Lightroom when you are done.
Yeah, that I know.
Yeah.
But how big file it can handle?
It can, I have, I do a lot of this astrophotography, and I stitch up to like 200 pictures, 200 raw files. I open them in Photoshop. Okay,
Okay,
from within Lightroom, I open all of them as layers in Photoshop, and they
correct.
are all into merged into one picture, and I bring them into Lightroom, and some of them, each picture is like 4 GB, 5 GB. So
Okay,
yeah, and I have not faced any problem in this regard. So uh,
okay.
you can try it. Uh,
Oh, sure, sure.
yeah.
So
So I have
wonderful,
tried up
Saurabh.
to.
Wonderful, wonderful. Saurabh, I have one thing. After this session, I think I'm tempted to start working on Lightroom from tomorrow itself because I felt it's very intelligent and smart.
Yes, it
Lightroom
is.
is very intelligent and smart. But one thing that in Photoshop we have the layers where we can
Yeah,
work on multiple layers. I
right.
think in Lightroom, it's not there. So we have to go to Photoshop from the Lightroom, work on the layer, and then come back to Lightroom. Am I correct?
Uh,
No,
Lightroom,
Mukesh, I think even Lightroom has the same
yeah,
layer kind
yeah,
of a
yeah.
thing. Even the ACR is also same feature now.
Okay,
You
okay.
Uh,
can work in layers
no,
on
actually,
raw file itself.
but the layer of the layer, what you are saying is right, Ashok sir. But
Haji.
the 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 layer of Lightroom is very basic, so you
Basic, yes.
cannot compare it with the layer that
Photoshop.
you have in photo. It is phenomenal, and it is like an ocean. You can do anything and everything there. So what you can do is you can uh, you can open from within Lightroom. You can open
Open
Photoshop,
the
do
Photoshop.
whatever you want to, and when you close the file, it is exported as a TIFF file, and it is added to the Lightroom library. So that's how it is an ecosystem. So Lightroom has some good features, and but it also
Photoshop
does
has,
not.
yeah.
Yeah, so but then Adobe recommends it to be used in sync, both of them, because because the image management facilities of Lightroom is so good. So you go into Photoshop or into other softwares like denoise or anything that you want to do, you open in that software, you work on it, and then you
Come back.
come back into Lightroom. So your image management, your collection, your other things that you do, they are all in one place.
Thanks, Sora. One more thing. Like Ashok Mansoorji told you about, say, some hard disk has crashed.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can get the images from the Lightroom also.
Mm-hmm.
So is it that the images or the thumbnails are saved in the cloud?
No, it is, if you are talking about, there are two versions of Lightroom. One is Adobe Lightroom, and the other is Adobe Lightroom Classic.
Classic,
I
okay.
use Adobe Lightroom Classic, which is for the power users, and it has a lot more features than Adobe Lightroom. So
Okay.
in the Adobe Lightroom, it is stored in the cloud, and if you're using Adobe Lightroom Classic, it is stored in your local hard drive. Okay. However, say for example, you have a catalog which is linked to one particular hard drive with a particular name. Say for example, you it is linked to E drive. Some pictures are linked to E drive, and that E drive is not there, and you have a mirror image in another drive called the F drive.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
so you connect that drive and just change the path, and Lightroom assumes that it is the same. I mean, it will work exactly the same.
Okay. So in case I'm using Lightroom Classic, and in case my hard disk is corrupted, I
Hmm.
cannot get back those files. Am I correct?
You can get up to 3 megapixel previews if
No,
you are
no,
using
only in the Adobe Lightroom, not in the Classic.
in
Because in Classic,
no, no,
the images are not saved in the cloud.
Yeah, in Classic, you can say there is a mechanism of saving some files in the cloud if you have a collection
Okay,
and you sync it
I
with the
got it.
cloud. There is a way, but yeah, it does not work really very well, and it needs cloud space, so you have to buy the cloud
Fine,
space,
fine,
and
fine.
it is
Yeah,
quite expensive.
yes.
Adobe gives it little expensive. Yeah,
So one more question, because till date I have been working on Photoshop only.
yeah,
All data are based in the Photoshop.
right.
So is there any way out to convert those data
Hmm.
to Lightroom version? Means ki,
So
uh,
what is the format that you have your pictures as?
raw format.
So raw format, when you are working on the raw file, so what is the output that you are creating? So JPEG file.
JPEG, definitely.
Yeah. So raw files are the untouched files, right? But
Okay.
in Photoshop also there is a way in which you can create an XMP file which stores all the changes that you have done in the files. Say for example in
Okay.
ACR. So
Okay.
so
Okay.
you can if you have the XMP file and you import the files into Lightroom. So Lightroom by default looks for the XMP file and will show the files with the changes that you have done in Photoshop if you have the XMP file.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
One more important feature you described,
Yeah.
that in Photoshop we used to either save or save as,
Right.
but whereas in the Lightroom
Yeah.
Classic, the images are saved automatically.
That's right.
Can I conclude that there is nothing like a feature like save and save as in Lightroom?
In Lightroom there is no save button.
Okay, all right,
There is no save button. So
that's why it's very
yeah.
intelligent software, very
So
intelligent and smart.
yeah. So first time I did lot of changes to a picture and then I thought, अरे इतना कुछ कर लिया अभी save कहाँ करे? Save कैसे करे? And I was not able to find the save button. So the good thing is each and every step that you are taking is being saved in
Yes,
history.
yes, yes.
Okay.
That's
And
wonderful.
yeah, and you can go back and unless you in Photoshop, unless you you save as a TIFF file with the history, you cannot get the history back. You cannot get the steps that you have taken to do the picture. But in Lightroom, if I show you my picture that I have taken 10 years before, and I can see the steps that I have taken to edit it, and I can go back to any step. So it is amazing. So that's why whatever picture that I have showed you today, it's all in the raw file format. And at any given point of time, if I require a JPEG file, I will export it. So at one point of time, I had a lot of these JPEGs file, but I just got rid of them because they were of no use, because they're all in my Lightroom catalog and I don't need the JPEG file at all. So only when there is a requirement of posting on Facebook or Instagram or sending it to a publisher, that is when I export the files that are required and then just delete them.
Wonderful. So what happens? Normally I use View NX2
Okay.
based and giving labels and stars and all.
Okay.
Okay, and then I work on Photoshop. But now with the Lightroom,
Yeah.
I can get both the features, View NX2 and Photoshop in
Right.
Lightroom itself.
Right. So
So
do you have all the pictures in View NX2?
yes,
All your pictures that you have taken?
yes. In View NX2, what happens? Ki
Uh,
anything before working on Photoshop, I
mm,
open the folder with View NX2.
okay.
And then I
Mm,
give the level or star
mm,
rating and all.
okay. Okay.
And then I start working on Photoshop.
Okay.
But now these two features are already incorporated in Lightroom Classic.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And a lot more incredible features. Yeah.
from tomorrow morning, I'm going to
So
start with
like,
Lightroom.
oh,
Thank you so much.
okay. And one of the yeah, so I love data and analysis of data. So the library filter that I showed you, where I can segregate pictures based on cameras and time, I just play with it.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Any other question that
Saurabh
yes, sir?
there are two variant Lightrooms are there, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
What is the basic difference?
So basically, Adobe Lightroom is for the people who use cloud, okay, and not for the power users. But if you are if you want to really use a lot of these powerful features that Lightroom has, you have to go to Lightroom Classic, which is much more advanced and has a lot more features that yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Any more question from anybody? I think Saurabh, you are like a brand ambassador for the Lightroom. You
Actually, I was working with the I actually worked with the Lightroom development team to improve their features. I work for
great,
quite some
great,
time.
great. So proud of you.
So,
So proud of you.
thank you.
Uh,
So,
Ajay Singh, are you here? Ajay Singh, are you here? I think he's not there. Anyway, now thanks a lot and thanks all participants tonight. Particularly Ashok Mansoor ji was very active in asking questions, and
yeah,
because once some participant asks question, it becomes wonderful refresher knowledge for others.
yes.
For
Yeah,
others.
and the speaker feels better because you're not talking to just a screen.
Okay. So it's, only the interactive session is very wonderful, and today we had interactive session with Saurabh Chatterjee, and it was wonderful, Saurabh. I'm very happy. I think
Thank you, sir.
I will keep on disturbing you from
Yeah. So anytime
tomorrow.
if you want to ask me any question, you can please feel free to reach out to me. So I'll share my Instagram or my WhatsApp details. Okay, maybe Mukesh sir can share. So if you want to ask any question, free to.
I'll share the details in the group also, so that the others can contact you.
Sure.
So it is final from my side, because I'm so much got attracted with the features of Lightroom Classic that from tomorrow morning, Lightroom Classic will be my favorite.
Oh.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
So thank you so much.
So let's say good night now. Lisa, do you have anything to say something?
Well, I would like to say I don't use Lightroom. I know it's a good way to go. I'm too afraid to make the plunge, but because I can only remember so much. But I was really impressed with the way that you use keywording and tagging and the examples that you showed with, segmenting or choosing a camera or the lens or the focal lengths. I'm like, oh, wow, that would be helpful. Or choosing the ISO.
It is amazing.
And then processing them the same way if it's under the same conditions. So yeah, I took some notes. It's like, wow, maybe I should think of this. So
and I'm not telling you to quit Photoshop, forget Photoshop. It is an ecosystem, so you have to use both hand in hand.
Yep. But you did a really good job on showing like, the categorizing and to put it to Flickr or whatever. Having those tags, it was very informative, and I did learn a lot. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Saurabh. Okay, then good night to all.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for the session.
And next month we are having our guest presenter Ashok Mansoor ji. And I think it is a very interesting session, because he has got wonderful collections of different travel photographs. So we'll be able to watch his session. Okay, good night.
Good
See you
night.
next month.
Good night.
Bye.